Hello everyone, back to today's second video. Going to have a look at the weather for the next 10 to 14 days for today's second video. So day 10 is going to take us to around the 18th of August. We'll be able to extend out beyond that with the extended GFS and ECM ensembles. They run to around a couple of weeks. And we'll have a look at CFSV2 at the end of the video for the next 4 weeks as well. Of course, we'll bring you an update with all of the latest heat wave developments and whatnot, and we'll see how hot temperatures are currently with latest observations from XC Weather. Generally a few degrees down on yesterday, even down in the south. So don't think we're going to quite hit yesterday's high temperatures today. We shall see about that though. Now, there was a mistake in the weekend forecast. I said at the start of the weekend forecast that the bank holiday weekend was now in the time frame of the extended GFS. And we will do our first bank holiday update tonight. Actually, it's a week away still before the bank holiday weekend, bank holiday Monday, comes into the time frame of GFS. Well, it's going to be Monday the 31st of August this year. Now, I could have sworn, I looked at this yesterday, I could have sworn that it was going to be like the 24th, Monday the 24th. Of August, but no, I am wrong about that. It's definitely going to be the 31st of August, so it's another week to go before we do bank holiday weekend updates. Thank you to Dylan for pointing that out in the comments. And yeah, so really sorry about that. Just put it down to possibly the heat, maybe a senior moment. I am sort of in my 40s now, so these things do happen. Occasionally with the old grey matter getting a bit mixed up, but there we go, I got completely the wrong day, and that's it. So bank holiday Monday for the end of summer, end of August, is going to be on Monday the 31st of August. That means that it's another week away before it will be within the GFS time frame. So sorry about that, everybody. Just one of those things, possibly the heat, maybe because I'm getting a little bit old now, who knows. Right, so weekend forecast, as I say, has been released. Have a look at that. And it's detailing like the hot weather and also the thundery breakdown when it's on the way. We will go through that as well for this video. Also at the end of the video, I'll talk you through what's happening tomorrow at the channel. Okay, so we're going to start off with the latest observations from XC Weather. Now, I've got 36 degrees here. That's as hot as it got yesterday, but it's down in the channel. So that's actually across northern France at Le Touquet. Generally, temperatures are sort of hovering around low 30s today. Down in south, there's a lot more cloud around than yesterday. So we've got Hertzmann at 31. We've got Headcorn Aerodrome at 31. Shoreham is at 28. Forney Island is at 28. Bournemouth is at 31. Going northwards, let's see how hot it is at London Heathrow. So it's 32. 32 currently, 90 Fahrenheit at Heathrow. 31 at Norfolk. High Wycombe is at 27. We've got Bainson at 29. Lark Hill is at 27 as well. Middle Wallop is at 29. St Catherine Point is at 28. Isle of Portland is at 27 too. So kind of like low 30s down in the south there as opposed to mid 30s. Now, if the sun comes out for a length of time in the next couple of hours, temperature could still get to 34 or 35, I think, somewhere here across southern England. But I think generally going to be a degree or two lower than we was yesterday. We shall see about that. So Western Aerodrome moving up towards the Midlands is at 26. We've got Church Lawford at 28. We've got Wellersbourne Airfield at 29. Fairford is at 30. Pretty hot there. Oxford is at 29, heading up to Wittering, 25 degrees there, a lot fresher. Church Lawford is at 28, Birmingham is at 27, East Midlands is at 26, and then moving over into Wales, we've got Senny Bridge at 23, we've got Lake Vyrnwy at 21, and we've got Rhyl at 19, positively cool there on the Irish Sea coast. Rhyl, Warcob is at 22. Teesside is at 19, and then going further north still, Chatterhall is at 20, Glasgow at 20, Abbeymoor at 19, and we've got Loch Glasgarnock at 17, Belfast is at 19, down to southwest England, Cardinham is at 21. So obviously the heat is in the southeast still. It's not quite as intense as it was yesterday, but there is very intense humidity. The next 2 or 3 days could see the heat getting building a little bit more. The temperature could get back into mid-30s Celsius down in the southeast tomorrow, Monday, Tuesday, depending on how much sunshine there is, and you know, also where we've got thunderstorms breaking out as well. There is still a risk of thunderstorms from Monday through to Wednesday. Weather warnings are enforced by the UK Met. Nothing really for today and tomorrow, although there will be a few scattered storms around tomorrow. It's really from Monday that things begin to develop. So this is how things look on Monday. Again, we've got this UK-wide warning from the UK Met Office for thunderstorms on Monday, saying some places are likely to see severe thunderstorms early next week, but there is significant uncertainty in the location and timing. That warning is in force for Tuesday as well. There we go. Again, same warning. Some places like to see severe thunderstorms early next week, but there is significant uncertainty in location and timing. And then we've got Wednesday now added into the mix also. Again, same warning, UK-wide, saying some places are likely to see severe thunderstorms during the middle of next week with significant uncertainty in location and timing. The weekend forecast is pinpointing the idea that on Monday and Tuesday the storms start to get more widespread, but generally rather scattered. And then it's Wednesday that we bring up this thundery low from France and Biscay, and that low is the one that breaks down the heat wave, but also has the greatest risk of widespread thunderstorms through the course of Wednesday, starting in the south on Wednesday morning and then trundling northwards generally across the country through the course of Wednesday, clearing away on Thursday and introducing cooler, fresher air from off the Atlantic for Thursday. So that's what weekend forecast is trying to pinpoint. But of course there is still uncertainty about this. It's several days away, and so for these thunderstorms, just a case of watch this space. I think we're going to do Storm Watch as the first video up on Monday. For Monday's first video upload, record and upload to the channel will be Storm Watch, I think. We'll probably cover it in tomorrow's live stream a little bit as well. Right, so moving on, CT. So central temperature is rocketing. The central temperature is absolutely soaring. We currently stand with the CT. Let's just get highlight again. We currently stand with a central temperature at 17.5. There it is, 17.5. Up to the 7th, up to yesterday. That's an anomaly of 1.5 degrees above average. That's going to soar over the next few days. So by early next week, that's going to be into the 18s. That will be into the 18 CT next week. Start of next week, and by the middle of next week I suspect this could even, let's get rid of that, I expect by the middle of next week this could well be into the 19s, for the CT next week, by the middle of next week. And then of course late next week it will begin to ease back a little bit perhaps. But yeah, this is really going to rock it over the next few days, so it's going to be quite entertaining to see that really going up. These are the GFS upper air temperature and precipitation ensembles for the next couple of weeks from Old West Central, looking at London. So red line is 30-year upper air temperature average for London. You can see how hot it is for the next few days, hovering very close to 20 degrees at 850 HPA. That is very hot air. Proper heat wave sort of stuff, and it's going to go on for several days until the middle of next week. Then the temperature starts to drop through the second half next week. It begins to cool down, and as we go into the second half of August, this period just here, whoops, that went a bit wonky, didn't it? As we go into the second half of next week, this period just here, second half of the month I should say, it looks as though the upper air temperatures will be quite close to average then, and obviously a lot cooler compared to what's coming up over the next few days. Precipitation wise, a growing threat of thunderstorms, so yes, as we go into next week there's an increasing risk of heavy showers and thunderstorms breaking out, particularly so on Wednesday. And then after that, we're just in a rather unsettled period, seemingly, with showers, if not, perhaps some longer spells of rain. Temperature anomalies from the 8th to the 16th of August are going to be above average. It will be a hotter than average week to come. especially for England and Wales. Precipitation anomalies from the 8th to 16th of August, drier than average for Scotland and the Northern Ireland and the Republic too. England and Wales, wetter than average. Of course, that is indicative of those thunderstorms that we're going to start moving up early next week, and particularly around the middle part of next week. Here's today's Windflow Map from earthnullschool.net, showing that jet stream and areas of low pressure have pushed northwards. So there we are. We've got low pressure up towards Iceland and to the south of Greenland. Jet stream is where those white arrows are, so jet stream is up there somewhere. And we've got a ridge through here, through there, and also down there too. And you can see from the way the southerly winds are sort of pumping up from Spain and North Africa, that's the reason that it is so very, very hot now across most parts of northern and western Europe as well. This is how the UK Met is looking for Tuesday. So on Tuesday, we've got a trough across the country. That could be the trigger for some thunderstorms. From Wednesday through to Thursday, we start to bring an area of low pressure up from the south. That could bring an increasing risk of thunderstorms around the middle part of next week, and then that low pressure clears away to the east by Friday. We're tucking in a much cooler and fresher west to northwesterly wind. Temperatures will drop significantly, it'll freshen up, and all of the thunder will move away to the east. GFS looks like that, so again a thundery trough across the country on Tuesday could be a trigger for some storms. Then we've got an area of low pressure moving out of Biscay, the Bay of Biscay and France, heading up into the country during the course of Wednesday, producing potentially some very significant severe thunderstorms across the country on Wednesday. And then that low pressure moves northwards and out of where as we go into Friday, Thursday, Friday, bring cooler air in from off the Atlantic. Another area of low pressure comes up from the southwest. That brings like persistent heavy rain as we go through to the end of the week and into next weekend. So this is Saturday the 15th of August with an area of low pressure over top of the country. That could bring like persistent heavy thundery rain with it, and much cooler temperatures as well. We move up towards day 10 and we're in an unsettled regime. Look at this. This is day 10, Tuesday the 18th of August. Low pressure out west Scotland. Westerly winds dominating. Lot cooler showers or longer spells of rain. Dare I say it, maybe even a little hint of autumn in the air across northwestern parts of the country with that one. Moving into extended range of this GFS run, it generally stays a little bit on the unsettled side too. So no sign of a return to the heat wave with this particular GFS run before the 24th of August, which is as far as we can go, generally cool and unsettled. Look at the temperatures with that GFS run. So this is how maximum temperatures are looking. Today it's suggesting like 30 to 34, possibly down across more southern parts of the country, but very far south and southeast. So may see the temperature popping up by another degree or two this afternoon. Generally, though, temperatures are a little bit lower than they were yesterday. Tomorrow, the heat is more widespread, actually. So, again, it's going to be temperature widely across much of the Midlands, central, southern, southeast, into the low 30s. Maybe not quite reaching the intensity of today, but the heat is more widespread. So those areas like the Midlands that aren't quite as hot today will actually be a little bit hotter potentially tomorrow, at around 32, 90 Fahrenheit, quite widely here across much of central, southern, southeastern England. Very hot day on Monday as well, so the heat is extending northwards on Monday across this eastern side of the country. Again, it is suggesting, the model is suggesting that 34 is possible there, somewhere like London. General rule of thumb with these is you add a couple of degrees on. So if it's going for 34 in London on Monday, you could probably lift that to 36. At the outside, you wouldn't rule out a 37. 99 Fahrenheit, again, perhaps somewhere like Heathrow. That's Wednesday, again, that's Tuesday, I should say, again, looking really hot here across much of southern and southeastern England. So it really is in this southeastern corner from the Midlands, south and east that the heat is on. Again, suggesting 34 is possible there for London. And a couple of degrees on, 35, 36 looks achievable. Notice over on the other side of the channel, 35, 36 is being forecast widely. So the heat wave goes on up to Tuesday, most definitely. Wednesday is the day that we have these big thunderstorms breaking out. Still looks hot across eastern parts of the country on Wednesday afternoon. So East Anglia is kind of like 30 to 31. But notice starting to come a lot cooler from the Midlands westwards by Wednesday afternoon. As those thunderstorms are breaking out widely. And then by the time you get through to Thursday, temperatures are back to normal. So if you don't like the heat and you live in the southeast, you've got to wait till Thursday really to get rid of it. But by Thursday, temperatures are back down, much closer to average, kind of low to mid-20s Celsius. Still pretty warm in the southeast. I mean, it's still going for 24 in London. So add a couple of degrees on, that could still be getting to around 26, which is around 80 Fahrenheit. It takes a long while to radiate the heat out of the cities. Like London is a great big heat island that just absorbs the heat continuously into the buildings, into the roads, and the pavements, and the concrete, and whatnot. And it does take a day or two to radiate all of that away, even when the air goes a lot cooler. So Thursday will probably still be quite a warm day down in the southeast, actually. But generally, there'll be a cooler and fresher feel by Thursday if the forecast works out correctly. And then by Friday, temperatures very much back towards normal. Actually looking really quite cool there across parts of Wales and South West England, probably under persistent rain or something by then. And then that Saturday, won't go any further than that, but look at the temperatures for next Saturday. We're actually a little bit cooler than average there. With temperatures generally struggling to make it to around 20 or 21 degrees. Parts of Wales and southwest England are pegged back just into the mid-teens, as is Northern Ireland and Western Scotland. So by this time next week, we could actually be having a bit of a taste of autumn, perhaps, across some western parts of the country, and it might be pouring with rain as well. We'll have to see about that. It's all quite speculative, really, from midweek onwards. But definitely hot up to Wednesday for the southeast, and then a cool down, I think, is the way we're looking, is what we're looking at over the coming days. This is a GM, so again, a bit of a thundery trough there on Tuesday, could spark off some storms. Wednesday through to Thursday, here comes this thundery low from France and Biscay. That could will break down the heat wave, but also bring with it the risk of some very torrential thunderstorms in the second half of the week. All of that is out of the way by the end of next week, and we go into this cooler push of winds off the Atlantic. Temperatures cool down, we get rid of the thunderstorms, and everything calms down. And then we go into the extended range with the GM, and it begins to build up this high pressure again from the southwest. So by day 10, which is the 18th of August, very different to what the GFS is showing, obviously. By day 10, the GM actually has us back under the ridge of high pressure. Maybe off we go again into another spell of prolonged dry and perhaps increasingly hot weather. Let's have a look at the upper air temperatures with the GM for day 10 and see how they're looking. So we're not overly hot at that point, but of course if that ridge starts drifting any further eastwards, we'll pull wind back up from the south again. So the GM is probably trying to get us back to square one by day 10 after thunderstorms and a cool down. And then we've got the ECMWF looking like this. So again, a thundery trough on Tuesday. And then through the middle of the week, Wednesday through to Thursday, here comes that thundery low pushing up from the south. Maybe a little bit delayed, pushing that up from France compared to the GFS, but it does eventually go in the same direction, which is a big thundery breakdown sometime around Wednesday through to Thursday. By the time we get through to next weekend, we're back into this much cooler air from off the Atlantic. Could be showers or longer spells, rain, I'll come out in a moment. And by day 10, so it looks like we're going to move this area of low pressure in from off the Atlantic. So the ECM is probably trending in the same direction as the GFS, actually, which is turning things increasingly unsettled and maybe quite cool by day 10. So this rainfall forecast based on that ECM run from Tometeo.com. Obviously, a lot of dry weather around today. One or two showers could spark off overnight, particularly across parts of North Wales into Northern England, but generally emphasis is on dry weather. Tomorrow, there could be storms across Northern England, Wales and southwestern England. I think they'll probably be quite hit and miss tomorrow, but there could be one or two around. And then we go on into Monday, and we see these storms really starting to kick off across Northern England late Monday into Tuesday, Northern England up into Scotland. Some quite big thunderstorms through there. That's Tuesday, so then we've got storms through the spine of the country from Scotland down through Northern England in towards parts of the Midlands as well. So yes, thunderstorms around on Tuesday too. And then we head off into Wednesday, and here comes that thundery low then through Wednesday into Thursday, and then we've got the risk of really torrential storms breaking out widely across the country Wednesday through Thursday. Could be some really torrential storms. Notice the red colours appearing there over Wales. That is very tremendous amounts of rain. It's like going up to 70, 80 millimetres with those storms. And so that could bring a widespread risk of flooding, of course, to those areas. Don't take that torrential area too literally, where we've got that red colour turning up. It could be east of that. I wouldn't rule it out. But it's just a suggestion that later on in the week there's going to be, or very probably going to be, a very, very significant thundery breakdown, the like of which we haven't had for a long, long time. And we go through to the end of next week, and of course we're clearing the air then, starting to cool things down, but still with showers coming and going, probably losing the thundery potential, but further showers, if not longer spells of rain, likely as we move up towards day 10 with the ECM. These are the options on the table with the ECM ensembles for day 10. Via the Icelandic Met Office, getting us to the 18th of August. 21 members of the ECM ensembles have high pressure over Scandinavia, bringing in winds from the east. That could still be quite warm, but with low pressure to the south and southwest, there could be an undercut of thunder. 16 with low pressure out to our west-northwest. They're going to be relatively cool and unsettled. And then 14 with high pressure again to our northeast. That's probably the most settled option and could be quite warm as well. In 2 weeks' time, these are the options that we've got, and it's going to get us to the 23rd of August. Have 18 members of the ECM ensembles with low pressure over the top of the country, high pressure out to the northwest. That's going to be cool and potentially unsettled. 14 with low pressure over and to the east of the country, high pressure blocking up towards Greenland. Again, probably cool and unsettled. 12 with high pressure over the country, low pressure up towards Iceland and Greenland. Or certainly up towards Iceland. That's going to be a drier, hotter option. And then 7 with low pressure to our north, bringing in winds from a westerly direction. That could be a little bit mixed and changeable too. So in 2 weeks' time, generally the options are looking quite unsettled now with the ECM ensembles. And then finally the CFS-V2, these are 500 millibar heights breaking down to week periods. The first week period takes from the 8th to the 14th of August. The coming week with above average heights over to the east of the country, drawing up hot winds from the south to southeast, but with low pressure down towards Spain and Biscay, we are going to see an increasing risk of thunderstorms later. Week 2, it's a bit different to what we've seen from the shorter range model output. 15th to 21st of August has us dominated by high pressure still, with very warm easterly winds, very warm or hot easterly winds continuing there into week 2. Week 3 is the 22nd to the 8th of August, but ridges begin to slip southwards, low pressure, small area of low pressure developing towards ice, and that could be breaking things down a little bit, perhaps starting to turn things a bit more unsettled and cooler. And then week 4 is the 29th of August to the 4th of September, with a Scandinavian high and an area of low pressure to west of Ireland. Could be quite warm with that, bringing up winds from the south, but could also be volatile. Maybe some thunder to begin September and meteorological autumn. Right, so that's it for your videos for today. So essentially, it's what we talked about in Weekend Forecast. Very hot heatwave conditions continue in the south and the southeast through to middle of next week. Then we're facing a thundery breakdown. GFS wants to move that thundery breakdown in on Wednesday. I think the ECM probably suggests like Wednesday to Thursday for that. So it's a little bit delayed with the ECM. They're both in the same direction though, which is a thundery breakdown next week. By the end of next week, we're into cooler, fresher conditions. And then where we go after that is quite interesting. The GFS particular wants to turn things very cool and unsettled as we move up towards day 10. The ECM is kind of going that direction as well, probably. We've got the GEM, though, looking anticyclonic again by day 10, trying to get us back to where we are right now, probably. And really, the CFS is going in that direction as well. So there's a lot to play for by day 10. But next week, hot initially, then a thundery breakdown, and then a bit cooler and fresher by this time next week. That's what we're going to be focusing on in the videos in the coming days. Okay, so as I said at the start of the video, I was wrong about doing an update for the bank holiday weekend tonight. That's going to be a week's time. So that's the end of the videos for today. Tomorrow we're going to have the autumn analogs update. The 7th autumn analogs update will be the first video tomorrow. GavsWeatherVids Sunny Roundup coming up tomorrow as well, and they'll be live streaming from 6 o'clock. I'm not sure what we're doing for that live stream. I'm hoping Patel Peng's analogs for winter of 2020-21 might be updated by then. They haven't updated yet though, so if we can't look at that, we'll try and find something else to look at. There's always something from the CFS to look at, let's face it, so we'll probably look at the CFS for winter 2020-21 if we haven't got Patel Peng's analogs for next winter. Beijing climate century is still inaccessible, so you definitely won't be able to look at that. But I'll find something long range to look at for you for the winter tomorrow, and also no doubt we'll be focusing on heatwave and thunderstorm stuff as well in that live stream. That's from 6 o'clock tomorrow. But for today's videos, that's all for now, and thanks for watching.